In this video, I'll be discussing the latest great news about your third stimulus check from the IRS and the Social Security Administration are set to give us a big update on when you guys should expect to receive a third stimulus check if you did not get one already. By the way, folks, did you receive a third stimulus check from the IRS? Tell me down in the comments. Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. And if you did not, don't worry, because in this video, I will be telling you the latest news from Congress about the timeline and status of a $1,400 stimulus check that you're supposed to receive. Now folks, I believe that if you're on federal benefits like Social Security, SSDI, or SSI, you should have been first in line to get a third stimulus check before anybody else. After all, you guys are the ones that need it the most. To see that the IRS is still taking so long to send out those payments, to be honest, it's a bit irritating. Our politicians in Congress must do something about this and send out the stimulus checks faster and sooner. If you guys agree, then leave a comment down below saying, I agree. And if you're looking to win a free $100 Amazon gift card giveaway, then all you have to do is smash the like button and share this video with your friends and family. In fact, this Friday, I'll be announcing 2 winners of a free $100 Amazon gift card. And if you'd like to enter to win, all that you gotta do is smash the like button and share this video with one of your friends. I want to help as many members of my community as possible. So folks, please be sure to enter this free gift card giveaway. Now the House Committee wants the heads of the IRS and Social Security Administration to explain by Friday, which is tomorrow, why the stimulus checks have not been sent out to those of you that are on Social Security and other federal benefits. In a letter to IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig and SSA Commissioner Andrew Saul, House Ways and Means Committee expressed concern as to why the payments have been delayed to beneficiaries of Social Security and SSI. I really don't know what the IRS is doing, everybody. I'm kind of confused, everybody, on why the IRS is taking so long to send out the stimulus checks. For the first and second stimulus checks, you guys got it pretty fast. Everybody got them in a quick and easy way. So I don't know what the deal is with the third round. But folks, tell me who's to blame for holding back your third stimulus check. Is it the IRS or the Social Security Administration? But the good news is that the House Ways and Means Committee is pushing the IRS and the SSA to send out stimulus checks and to give you a timeline of when the payments will go out. That's great news, everybody, because our politicians are finally putting their foot down. They're drawing a line in the sand and asking the government to send out the stimulus checks faster to help those of you that are in need the most. Now everybody, here's what the letter to the IRS said. The American Rescue Plan was intended to provide much needed economic stimulus and assistance to people in the country, but some of our most vulnerable seniors and persons with disabilities cannot wait for their overdue payments. The letter also reads for the commissioners to move up with deliberate speed to get the checks out and give the committee an update by Friday. Now if you guys have not received the third stimulus check, please be sure to check your bank account, your direct express card, and your mailbox. I say this time and time again because it is very important for you to know that a stimulus check can be sent to you at any time. And that's great news. Now the IRS said on Monday that the stimulus checks will be automatically sent to people who didn't file a tax return but receive SSDI, SSI, and even VA. It also said that the Social Security and other federal beneficiaries will generally receive this third payment the same way as the regular benefits. In addition, everybody, I want you to know if you're eligible for a third stimulus check, because you don't want to run into the issue of expecting a stimulus check if you're not even eligible for one. Here's how to know if you're eligible for a third payment. Well, the American Rescue Plan provides households with $400 for each adult, child, and dependent, and even elderly relatives. Payments start declining for an individual once AGI exceeds $75,000 and goes to zero once income hits $80,000. The payment starts declining for married couples when income exceeds $150,000. I've also received a lot of questions of everybody on if banks and even creditors can take away your stimulus checks. Well folks, here's the answer. It all depends on the type of debt that you have and who would have been attempting to collect it. Like the previous rounds of stimulus checks, this aid cannot be garnished by the federal government or the IRS, but it could be potentially garnished from private companies. In regard to the latest unemployment news, another 770,000 new US unemployment claims were filed last week, 1 year into the pandemic. In the last year, there's not been a single week where combined state and federal claims did not exceed 1 million.
On a partisan basis. It would forcibly rewrite every state's election laws in ways that defy common sense and are deeply unpopular with American voters. It would mandate nearly unrestricted same-day registration. It would mandate big loopholes that would render voter ID almost meaningless. It would make every state legalize ballot harvesting, where paid operatives can turn up carrying big piles of ballots with other people's names on them. Zero chain of custody. Democrats want to hide behind the mantle of voting rights. What they're really proposing is less security, less integrity, and a grab bag of changes that are deeply, deeply unpopular. Just look at the other changes with zero relationship to voting rights that Democrats want to smuggle in behind that smokescreen. This bill would take the Federal Election Commission from an evenly split bipartisan panel to a partisan body so that Democrats could rule unilaterally over politics as well as citizen speech. Turn the neutral judge into a partisan prosecutor. It would send taxpayer money to fund political campaigns. It contains a massive attack on the privacy of citizens who engage in free speech, a massive and intentional gift to cancel culture.
Communities. Right now, nearly 40,000 Americans die on our roads annually. Millions live in communities isolated or divided by missing or misplaced infrastructure. And millions of Americans don't have access to affordable transportation options to get around. Before the pandemic, commuting times were getting longer for average Americans while their housing and transportation costs soared. And without action, it will only get worse. In the United States, transportation is the leading contributor to climate change, contributing to a pattern of extreme weather events which takes a severe toll on our infrastructure. Every dollar we spend rebuilding from a climate-driven disaster is a dollar we could have spent building a more competitive, modern, and resilient transportation system that produces significantly lower emissions. And it doesn't have to be this way. Wise transportation investments are key to making the American dream accessible for all, leading our global competitors in innovation, getting people and goods where they need to be, creating good jobs that are union or pay prevailing wages, and tackling our climate crisis. Just like those who summoned the will to build the Transcontinental Railroad in the 1800s and the interstate highway system in the 1950s, we too have the opportunity now to imagine and create a different future for American transportation. I know that expectations have been raised before when it comes to major moves in American infrastructure. But now, in this season, we can turn aspirations into action. Now is the time to create millions of good jobs for American workers, to help communities and businesses, big and small, rural and urban, to compete and win in the global economy. Now is the time to clear the backlog and repair our highways, roads, bridges, maritime ports, airports, and more, to enhance freight and passenger rail, and to provide accessible public transit and mobility options for all. Now is the time to redouble our commitment to transportation reliability and safety, and ensure that families will no longer have to mourn tragic deaths that could have been prevented. Now is the time to finally address major inequities, including those caused by highways that were built through Black and brown communities, decades of disinvestment that left small towns and rural main streets stranded, and the disproportionate pollution burden from trucks, ports, and other facilities. Now is the time